I'm Nate Custer.
Jennie Moench.
And we are the Greater Flint Creative Alliance Showcase. You're probably watching us on flintunderground.org. We want to welcome to the show today. We have an action-packed show. Before we get to that, Jennie is a local author, painter, videographer, lover of dogs. I am also a local author. She's making me show you guys. No, it's not. She's making me show you guys my 6th chapter of poetry, All Power to the Peepholes, available downstairs in the Union, which is the local 432's cool new store they got next door. Only $4.
Only $4?
Yeah, it's quite a deal. So, flintunderground.org is our website. It's where you can see videos from art walks, the show every month. You can see collab nights, portable poet.
Local 432.
Yeah, it's got everything. And it's kind of cool because it's free, so you can check it out, flintunderground.org, or you're probably watching us on Comcast Channel 17.
Then it must be Monday at 6 o'clock.
Hopefully you're watching us on the right Monday. But either way, we're here every single Monday doing something at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, but one of the videos from Flint Underground will be on there.
Yeah, we're pretty prolific people.
Okay.
So we mentioned this Greater Flint Creative Alliance. What is it? Well, the Creative Alliance is a group of artists and activists, painters, poets, organizers, dancers, actors, models, photographers, filmmakers, writers, DJs, musicians, designers, comedians, and general performers. Our mission is to organize events and activities that support art, culture, education, and our community. We want to encourage an atmosphere that makes people proud to live in Flint. So if this sounds like an organization you're interested in being a part of, we meet every Wednesday at Churchill's Bar and Grill on Saginaw Street at 7 o'clock, except for that third Wednesday of the month, which is our Creative Collab Night, which we just had yesterday for this month, which is an open canvas, open mic type event at Good Beans Cafe in the Grand Traverse, and that goes 7 to 10. It's free, like I said, on the third Wednesday of the month. So today on our show, we have Coyne with his newest book, Shattering Glass, martial arts, personal trainer, and bodywork specialist, Dawei Li, and a musical performance by Brian Castle, who does our theme song.
Yeah.
So before we get to that, though, we'll go to the events. Friday, December 27th, 7 p.m. at the Flint Local 432. There's Love Good, Old Saint Tyrannus, Jenna Noel, Cemetery Circus, Christine Bowen, and Shay Socrates. That's Saturday, December 28th, 6 p.m. There's a New Beginnings Fair in Burton. I have a Spirit Contact Circle at 6 p.m. Sunday, December 29th, 8 p.m. Flint Local 432 is presenting Filmage, Story of the Descendants, which is a punk band, I think, from the area, or at least something of that nature. So check that out.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that is. I thought I knew what it was, but I'm not sure.
I love these events because they never have any information. It's just a day, time, place.
That takes a lot of typing, you know?
Well, look it up.
You got a lazy secretary.
About it. Monday, December 30th, 9 p.m. Groovy Tuesdays on a Monday at the Loft. DJ Michael A is doing a pre-New Year's Eve party. Check that out. Tuesday, December 31st, all day New Year's Eve strip hooray at JB's nightclub with Dan Garrix doing some music. Oh, I think that's going to be burlesque dancers.
Oh yeah, it is. It's burlesque. I do remember that.
Doesn't give me any information except for I tell you.
The Fisher Bodies.
The Fisher Bodies performing Dan Garrix. Saturday, January 11th, 7 p.m. There'll be another fundraiser for Julie Moore, who's been in the hospital. It's called Jules Rock's Machine Shop at Machine Shop. I think she might even be there.
I'm thinking maybe because she's looking pretty good. I mean,
Yeah,
she's got a present. We were really worried about it for a while.
Yeah, she's fighting.
Yeah.
And then, last but not least, Ethereal's new Poetry Slam down in East Lansing. The Spitfire Poetry Showcase, January 16th at 7:30. It's an open mic, and it will feature performances by Sierra Controversy Freeman. So check that out at C Metro Space in East Lansing if you haven't been to East Lansing.
Yeah, we don't usually put, events from so far away.
Yeah, but he's one of our people,
It's real.
It's Flint branching out. So now that we're filming at the local, our costs have gone way, way down, and for only $10 you can be one of our underwriters. And that guarantees you either one 60-second commercial or two 30-second commercials voiced over by the lovely Jennie.
And Nick too.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
she
he
reels
comes
me in.
around. Yeah.
But, we appreciate our sponsors. And the money is used for the CA to put on events, to help with the art walk stuff, our creative collab nights. It always goes to a good cause. And you're supporting one of Flint's coolest underground organizations. So, let's see who our underwriters are this month, and then we'll come back with Coyne with his new book.
Oh, in his book. Oh man, I forgot. I was in such a hurry.
That's not a problem. Why don't you just go down to Page's Bookstore on the break and grab a copy?
Oh, yeah, we're in underwriters.
Yeah.
Then we'll be right back.
We'll be right back with the sponsors.
my goodness, Creative Alliance shirts are only $10?
Just buy a frickin' shirt!
Page's Bookstore is locally owned and located at 132 West 2nd Street in downtown Flint at Buckham Alley. It is a showcase for local authors and artists. Please visit Page's during the Second Friday Art Walk in downtown Flint.
Oh, hello. Looking for a particular book or?
I have to get a book by Coyne called Shattering Glass. He's on our show. You know, I have a show. We have a show.
Really?
Yeah. So I forgot the books.
Shattering Glass. I think I did see that book back there.
Oh, you did? Okay, good. I'm glad they got it, you know. I was in a hurry. Because, I got a dog, and my dog has been acting weird, so I think the vet, and I found I had hemorrhoids, and now he's got to get an operation, and I really, do you have a dog?
Look, I'm just the greeter here. The book's back there, though. You'll find it, I'm sure. Good luck with that.
So you found what you were looking for?
Yeah.
And your total's $12.68 today. Can I have your cell phone number for return purposes?
No, I don't have one.
How about your house phone number?
No, I don't know.
Well, can I have your zip code?
I'm homeless, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'll just get the information off your credit card.
Straight over, yes, correct.
Oh, that's even better. I can get it off your check.
$12, $25, $35, $45, $67, $8, $9, $50. There's at least 12.
4-cent limit.
Hey!
Video camera has your license plate number. Good thing our bags have tracking devices in them.
She should be headed back in a second. And we're back with Coyne, who's got a brand new book out called Shattering Glass. So, welcome, Connor.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. So tell us a little about this novel.
Well, Shattering Glass is my second published novel. It's basically sort of a hybrid of college experience. I wanted to take the University of Chicago, where I went to school, and mash it up with Flint. And that's what I did. It's set in Archaic, Michigan, which is a fictitious city, at Archaic University, which is a fictitious university. Basically, the premise is this wealthy philanthropist by the name of A. Olin decided he wanted to found his very own university in this struggling factory town. And so he created this Archaic University. And one of the innovations which he introduced to it is this new technology to power the university called temporal electrical turbines. And they take human memories and process them into new electricity. So the story follows the four main characters, Dunya, Ezzy, Monto, and Sammy. They're four freshman students. as they go to college there, and they're dealing with all the usual college stuff, midterms, paying tuition, going to classes, working their jobs and stuff like that. But then they're also finding weird side effects that are coming off of this new technology, and kind of delving into some of the mysteries and conspiracies underlying, where this came from, how the technology is possible, what it does.
Very cool.
Yeah, wow, that does sound really, it sounds kind of like a kind of steampunk, almost kind of a feeling to it,
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because, the cover designer, Sam Perkins Harbin, who actually is a Central alum, lives in Chicago now, but he's very heavily involved in the steampunk Chicago scene and actually helps run a bunch of their stuff. So I don't know, maybe I got some of that by osmosis.
That is cool. I mean, that steampunk is cool.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to look. So, what else have you written?
Well, I've got another novel out, Hungry Rats, which was published in 2010, and that is actually set in Flint, and that was actually the subject of my master's thesis. So it's a second-person noir, which means it's a mystery. It's a dark mystery, but the person that's the reader is addressed. So when you read the book, it's always addressed to you. You go up the stairs, you see this, you experience that.
So you are the writer.
It's almost like people have compared it to a choose-your-own-adventure, and that means, of course, that you have to interpret the clues and the evidence in a very different way than if you are inhabiting somebody else as you read a book.
Personal.
Yeah.
So you're from the Flint area.
Mm-hmm.
You lived here all your life?
No, I lived in Flint and Flushing until I went to college. I went to college in Chicago, went to grad school in New York. We moved back to Chicago briefly so that my wife could get her nursing degree, and then when we had our first daughter, we moved back to Flint so that we're close to family here. So.
Yeah, and that's great. Everybody always comes back.
Yeah.
So you funded the publication of this yourself, right?
Yes, yeah. Well, when I published Hungry Rats, I incorporated the Gothic Funk Press, and that was sort of kind of the brainchild of an arts movement in Chicago we had called the Gothic Funk Nation. And I used Kickstarter to raise funds to publish Hungry Rats, and then I did Kickstarter again this year for Shattering Glass.
Do you feel like that helped kind of propel it forward before the book was ever published? You're able to kind of give people, their say of whether or not they want to support it, a couple sections.
Yeah. It's weird. It impacts it, in a lot of different ways. I mean, in terms of marketing a project, it's really great because you see right up close what people are responsive to, what they're interested in.
And you're going to form a relationship with these people, and they're all going to read the book. So you've sold that many more books.
Yeah.
It's great.
So have you been touring around with this book yet?
Yeah, I right after it came out last October, I took a trip to Chicago, and like I said, it references the University of Chicago quite heavily, and so I was on campus for their alumni weekend, and I got to do a launch party with their theater and performance program. They gave me a wonderful space in their new venue up on the 7th floor, and it's just a sparkling view. And I'm actually going back in February to the Barnes & Noble, which is the University of Chicago bookstore, and I'll be doing a reading signing.
Awesome.
That so.
So do people from Flint kind of pull out the Flint parts? People from Chicago pull out the Chicago parts? You say it's like a mixture of the
I'm still waiting to see that, but one of the goals is that it kind of creates this new and alien place where it's hard to pick out where one ends and where the other begins. One of the reasons this idea was exciting to me in the first place is because I feel like both University of Chicago, for those of you who might not be familiar with, has got a reputation as kind of a nerdy, egg-heady place where people are kind of these intellectually brilliant but socially clueless, but just really, really in depth into whatever they're studying. And of course, we know about Flint's many wonderful eccentricities. So I kind of felt that the eccentricity of both places kind of put them on a similar wavelength for all of their differences. There's a similar sort of almost outsider status to going to the University of Chicago or living in Flint, and I kind of wanted to use that commonality to make it seem like they could actually inhabit the same space.
Very cool. So where can people get a copy of Shattering Glass?
Well, right now at this moment, just on Amazon, or you can go through my website, connorcoyne.com, CONNORCOYNE.com. But I'm also in the process of getting copies out to bookstores and
Like pages.
yeah. and you know, I hope it'll be much more widely available very soon.
And then you're also doing another project, an anthology, right?
Yes, yes. So as I mentioned, Shattering Glass and Hungry Rats were both published on Gothic Funk Press. But I want to kind of broaden the scope of the press and actually make it truly representative of Flint and truly representative of our area. So one of the things which we're doing in the next year is we're releasing an anthology of experimental literature. We're hoping it will come out next June, and we'll be starting to accept submissions next February, and that's going to be called Mark's Hat. And its length is going to be sort of determined by the submissions that we get. So right now,
Would you say it's called Mark's?
Mark's Hat.
Now,
It's
can you tell
nothing
us
to do
about
with this
that?
house.
Yes, yes. Well, it's kind of a riff on that.
Okay.
So for anybody who doesn't know about this, late last summer,
You just gotta be a Flint person.
there you go. Yeah.
You gotta be in the know.
What
Yeah.
if you're not a Flint person?
If you're not a
Well,
Flint
you
person,
gotta know what's going on in Flint. You know, that's just the thing.
so Mark's Hat was funded by Kickstarter again, and it was a budget of $250, which is precisely 1% of certain recent well-known public art installations. This isn't any sort of a criticism or a satire, but it is an observation that I feel like the amount of overhead you have to invest into literature. Just language is something which we all have an intuitive comfort with, you know, however it manifests in our speech or reading or something, we all are comfortable to an extent in the words we choose. I feel like literature can be used in the public sphere and in the arts, often in situations where it is not used. So that was kind of a bit of the inspiration for the name. But it is going to be an anthology of experimental literature, and I hope anybody who sees this, who lives in Flint, will consider submitting something. And we're defining experimental literature as anything that's written in an unusual way. So, yeah.
Well, you know, yeah, we're gonna run out of time here, because didn't you say you wanted to read it?
I'd be happy to do a reading.
Okay, great.
Sure.
You wanna do that now?
Yeah,
Do you have
yeah.
any other questions before I start? Because then we'll bring another guest on.
No, you mentioned your website is Coyne.
ConnorCoyne.com, and we also have a website for Gothic Funk Press, and that's gothicfunkpress.com.
Okay, I'll have both those up on the screen, so cool like that. So, go ahead and give us a selection.
I'm just going to jump in, not a whole lot of context. This is just two characters, Samo and Monty, and Monty's from out of town. He doesn't really know Archaic very well. Samo, of course, grew up in town, and he's a little nostalgic for home on a cold autumn night early in the quarter. The sun is down, and the darkness is long, 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 and the early autumn cool, cool, cool. And there is so much scheduled to happen tonight. So much is going to happen tonight. What's the word? Asked Monty. The word, says Samo, is that my high school has a kick-ass marching band and a kick-ass football team, and I can hear them both right now. That isn't a marching band, says Monty. That's the chains behind the door over there. No, it's not, said Samo, and he leaves his room, barefoot, in boxers and a wife beater, with fake chains he got in NOLA swinging around his neck, because hey, why not? He's got a platinum one with an emerald scarab, and a gold one with a ruby rose, and a silver one with a sapphire dragon. And out on the hill, the very same hill where he stood on the very first day of orientation, he can see the tottering, rottering city. At his right, as expected, are the pyramid and the skyscrapers downtown. There's a bonfire somewhere. Someone's burning leaves, and the air is singed with warm soot. Cold air tonight, saltpeter skies, starry cataracts. And then, at the center, is the faint angled outline of Mallory's storage. But off to the left, where he's really looking this time, past the naked white lights of the Ex-Automotives Institute, and out on the west end, his family, his friends all together at the football game at Southern, where the boys, larger and stronger than Samo, bash each other's brains in, where sexy cheerleaders kick up their muscled thighs, and where the sexier trumpet players and timpani players wrap their taut, sharpened peat dark palms around valves and drumsticks, their cunning eyes, their wily minds. None of them have joined him here. You're right, Monty says, stepping up behind him. I can hear it. It's out there. A soft boom, boom, booming that sails softly over the hills and is barely dispelled in the wind. Kinda wish I was there, Samo says. Monty smiles. Let's go to the Essosphere, Samo.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're gonna have you stay up here, Connor. We're
Okay.
gonna thank you for reading Shattering Glass, and we're gonna have Dawei Li come on up next and join us.
Greetings.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jenny, you wanna jump into it?
Oh, well, I noticed you at the art walks, of course. You're on some of our art walk videos, so if anybody wants to look those up from last summer. I've seen you a few times, but I never really caught your whole act go on there, just little bits and pieces. But anyway, I just thought it'd be cool if you come on the show and show us some of your moves.
Certainly.
So, are you from Flint?
I'm from Byron.
Byron.
But
Oh,
I
that's not
spend
too
a-
far away.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in Flint. And like you guys were saying, I've left many times,
Right.
and I'm sure you're coming back.
Suck, man.
Isn't that
Spent
something?
many years in Chicago.
Oh,
Byron
Chicago's
brought me
great.
back. The gravitational pull there is very strong.
All right.
What is the people or the aura? What is it? What is it? You tell me.
I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the woods and the pond, and it's home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
I think it's gonna be the people.
Nice.
Anyway, so what are your martial artist? Do you instruct?
Yes, I
people?
do.
Okay, where do you have a place where you work, or do you work for yourself, or what? So you give a little
I
caption.
pretty much do it all. I'm doing Tai Chi at Lifetime Unlimited in Burton.
Oh, okay.
I also do private lessons, and I'm looking at getting a place probably up in Flushing at this point. I've got a few people who are interested in training, so I'm just searching for some place to teach.
Yeah. How long have you been doing Tai Chi?
Tai Chi about, I don't know, 15 years.
What draw you into martial arts or to Tai Chi?
I always wanted to do it. As a little kid, I remember watching Shaolin Theater and seeing the monks doing their crazy wild acrobatic stuff, and it was just, it was completely unreal. And being in Byron, there was just never any opportunity to train. So when I was at Central, I was walking by the student union, I saw their little sign, karate classes, and I'm like, I went there, I started, and that was in '88, and I've been hooked ever since.
Cool. Well, that's a great story. Huh. So, everything kind of mystical is of interest to you.
You could say that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, do you want to do like a little demonstration, and maybe we could even help out. You could show one of us something.
Certainly.
That's why I thought we could kind of like be his students.
Sure. Yeah,
So
that
whatever
works.
you want to do.
All right, well, you might have to reposition the camera because I need to get my ankles in when we do it.
That's what I want.
Well, our camera person do that for
Yes.
us.
Okay. We've replaced Polly with a robot.
Okay, so the basis of this is just enhancing your posture. Most people, as you usually see, aren't standing quite straight. So what we're going to do is align each set of joints until we're straight. So we start with the feet, about shoulder width, maybe a little wider. Turn the feet parallel. Now most people, what I call, they dump on the ankles, they kind of collapse in, and what this causes is damage to the arches over time. So what you want to do is shift your weight to the outside of the ankles as if you were skiing or rollerblading. You get that outward push. So you push out on the ankles, you sink into the heels. Next, you're going to push your knees out over the feet so that it opens up the hips a bit. Tuck the pelvis under. Lift up through the head, and that straightens up the spine. Take a deep breath, and sink down. And then to modify this, you can take each individual joint and just do slight rocking and slow movement until you find that sweet spot where it feels like everything is in alignment. And then you do the knees, the hips, and you want to make sure to get the hips tucked. And it's not a pushing forward, it's that subtle tuck. As if, when you go to sit down, your hips come under you. It's that type of movement. So done quickly, you're just hanging out, stand up, and your posture is much more straight. So then when you step off, you're in a good posture, as opposed to what most people do. So it's just a different perception of how you treat your body. And just like a building, if the foundation is off, the building isn't strong. But when you strengthen that foundation, and the cool thing, exactly. And the cool thing about this is it's great for computer workers too, because if you can slide just a touch, instead of collapsing into the computer, you use the same technique. Square up the feet, push out the knees.
Try it.
Okay, yeah. So you want to square up your feet. You want to roll out slightly into the ankles, right.
And these are pants.
And then you're going to draw the hips under you. And then imagine that you're pushing up to the ceiling through that point of your head. And then with your computering, you're in a much better posture as opposed to collapsing. And as often happens, you get tired, you start collapsing every time you realize you've broken the posture. And with practice, you'll start noticing much quicker when you do this, and this becomes easier. And one of the key parts of this is when you're here, you really can't get a deep breath because you're condensing your whole chest. When you get that good posture, you can breathe much deeper. More oxygen, better brain function, work goes easier.
I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I can feel what you're talking about, where you have that foundation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you want to, there you go. It feels uncomfortable at first, because what happens is when we get tight, especially from the computer work and the tense breathing, we condense here. So to actually shift that head back, you're causing a good stretch through the scalings, but over time, that becomes easier. And then your head sits more square on your shoulders. And it increases your awareness as well as your breathing, as well as your circulation. It's one of those simple things that over time it dramatically affects your whole life.
Yeah, that's really neat.
I can see a lot of discipline in what you do, even in just the posturing, you know. Is that where a lot of the strength in these types of moves comes from, is just having the correct alignment to begin with?
It's actually a combination. Obviously the martial arts is very concerned with structure, but where the depth of the structure came from, I'm a massage and structural therapist as well. Structural therapy is basically Rolfing without the name, where it's deep tissue body work to realign everything. So for example, if you've been doing computer work for a long time, you've got these patterns. So in the structural therapy, we really get in there and lengthen that tissue and open it up. So combining the structural therapy and the martial arts, it's helped me to not only be in that place within my body, but certainly to recognize it in other people so that I can help them expand their body, their breathing, and ultimately their world.
And not have backaches.
Exactly. And the same thing is true when you get in your car. You ever notice you get in your car in the morning, you adjust your mirror up, you go to work. Get in your car at night, you got to adjust the mirror down because you've condensed. So if every time you get into your car, you do the posture, it's going to shift your awareness in driving. So you're not collapsing, and it's just again, it's a different way of holding your body. But it's amazing how when you adjust the structure of the body, your awareness grows. And I think that's the coolest part about it.
So if somebody wanted to come take a lesson from you or get some work done out at Lifetimes, how would they do that?
They can call Lifetime Unlimited. They can also give me an email, which is creativekungfu@gmail.com. And I also have a YouTube page, Creative Kung Fu, where I teach the posture, I teach walking, how to work out at your desk, how to use a doorway to work out. Basically, Creative Kung Fu is all about wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can add exercise. People say, well, I don't have time to go to the gym, I don't have time to do that. Do you ever spend any time in the kitchen cooking? You can get an incredibly powerful workout while cooking. Or you're sitting on the couch watching TV. I actually have some products coming out. One is the Couch Combat System, where you literally turn your couch into an MMA gym. So you're watching whatever show, commercial comes out, you beat the crap out of your couch for 3 or 5 minutes. You watch a 1-hour show.
Did the neighbors ever complain?
I live in the country.
How about your girlfriend or your wife? Does she get...
Don't have one of those either.
Oh, okay. And now we know why.
So where do people find these products?
They're in development right now. Hopefully they'll be hitting the market beginning of next year.
Cool. How long have you been doing the video series?
It started in Chicago, I think, in '92. So it's just been an unfolding, a I did some shooting in Colorado and Chicago, so it's unfolding as it goes.
And you intentionally kind of put it out free to learn from, or?
Yep. Yeah, there will be a series for sale, but for right now, I mean, this is information that everybody can benefit from, so why not put it out there? And like you were just talking about with the book, you know, you get the interest, and then when I get the products out there and the video series, people go, oh, I saw that guy. And there it is.
For sure. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Your video series, yeah.
I just want to do that.
Yeah, there you go.
You're gonna have to tell me how to do it. Okay, anyway, was there anything else you guys want to talk about? So we have Brian Castle is going to do a big production. Hopefully you guys will stay and be our audience.
Well, I mean, if people wanted to see you, are you going to be at the Art Walks when it warms up?
Oh, of course.
Outside of the workplace, do you just do demonstrations?
If there's a public thing going on, I usually go there, and luckily I found some other martial artists, so I think it was at the Buckamalley Fest. I connected with a friend, and we were throwing down on the street for about a half hour, 45 minutes, and you know, time just went by.
That's awesome. Very cool. We appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is a pleasure.
Both of you.
Thank you.
And I think we have to go to the underwriters.
Yeah, we got to go to our sponsors.
If you wanted to sponsor, it's only
$10.
$10.
But let's go to that real quick. Page's Bookstore is locally owned and located at 132 West 2nd Street in downtown Flint at Buckham Alley. It is a showcase for local authors and artists. Please visit Page's during the second Friday Art Walk in downtown Flint. And we're back here with local author Jill Stadola. Welcome.
Thank you.
So tell us something about your book.
Well, it's a different title, Cadavers and Cocktails, a collection of true stories from dark to light. The title came to me in a dream. My life's been guided by dreams, my faith. Natural place for the title to be in the dream. In a dream, I was at the morgue.
Oh,
Wow.
what?
Yeah, I was at the morgue. I was visiting my friend, the medical examiner. He's like, I don't really know what you're doing here, honey. I don't even know how you got in here. But I've got an idea. Let's meet after work for Cadavers and Cocktails.
And we're back with Brian Castle talking about his new solo project, Hearse for Hire. Welcome back, Brian.
It's nice to be
I
back.
feel like we see you every couple months with something new.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool, though.
always working on new things. Well, yeah, I was coming to do some stuff from Hearse for Hire, and essentially that was my solo project that I had been doing for quite some time, actually, before Dion and I had started Terror Amore. So the run on Hearse for Hire has been at least about like 6, going on 7 years now.
Okay.
And I'm currently up to working on the 5th album right now.
Wow.
Like,
you're pretty far in life.
just in the sense that, you know, when things die, you take them away. It's just a metaphor for music in general. You know, one thing goes away and then something else comes along, you know.
Yeah.
The dead wood always gets dragged out of town.
So how would you describe the music?
It changes. Like, I would say it pretty much just reflects whatever my mood has been at the time. Like, a lot of times I just use it kind of almost like therapy to work on the issues I've had in my own life. So at times it's been like exceedingly dark. And, you know, I have rotating instruments a lot of times. It just depends on, like, usually when I work on something, I start an album with, I suppose, just what I'm feeling in life and what I think I need to say, and then usually whatever instruments I feel like working on at the time, and then I just go from there, I suppose. And sometimes it tells more of a story, and then sometimes it's just more disjointed.
So how would you describe this 5th album?
I would say after the 5th album, I'm looking to take this in a more dance-driven direction. If I could describe if I could have an overarching theme for all of the albums, they're all probably in that industrial camp in the sense that they are kind of like a mashup of several genres, but they still have a certain mechanical hardness to them.
Kind of
Cool.
flip thing.
Yeah, cyberpunk, I suppose,
Yeah.
and I'm certainly, you know, a fan of all of the literature and video and film of all that. Like, love things like, you know, like anime and like the cyberpunk era, like novels and stuff.
So are you doing any shows coming up?
As of now, nothing right now. I'm just in the studio working on this 5th album. There's a lot been going on in my life right now. I was just recently engaged. Working on, I want to get a new job right now, so I'm like kind of in this transitional phase where me and my girlfriend are living in like different different towns right now. I'm trying to relocate.
Oh no, you're not gonna leave Flint, are you? You're gonna make her come here?
Well, our current base of operations is going to be out of Hazel Park, so that's kind of where I'm headed.
Oh, that's just like keeping
A little closer to the action, though.
Yeah, I pretty much will play anywhere they'll have me.
Sure, that's cool, man. So, how many tracks did you hear me in this new album?
Previous ones I wanted to do were more short and sweet. Like, especially if I had done something that I thought was like really hard or violent, I would probably limit it to like between a half hour to like 45 minutes, probably more on like the 40-minute side. For something like this, I think I'm gonna do a great variety of tracks, and this will probably be the longest one, and I imagine it'll round out around an hour in length.
Cool.
And you know, we should mention too that you do the title music at the beginning of our show, and also he did the music for the last Shirt Sniper video. Did you see it? The one with Steve, the
Yep.
Dirty Steve in it.
Michael Moore?
Yeah. Oh my, I'm sorry. Oh, Michael Moore.
Had to throw some like, laser effects in there and stuff. Yeah.
I forgot the storyline. Anyway, it
So-
was a lot of fun.
For people that haven't seen you on the show before, tell them a little about your history of music, like how you playing.
I've been playing stuff since I was probably about 10 or 11. I don't know, when I was a kid, I suppose there was that transition in music that was going on between the 80s and 90s, you know. I really connected with electronic music, honestly, like synth pop and like industrial, so that was a great deal of what I was listening to. And then obviously in the early 90s, I was a big fan of like death metal and like grindcore and things like that were going on too. I mean, I certainly my music isn't really in that box as much as it is more like in the like industrial or synth pop type box. I do like things that are dance driven at times. I like things that are catchy, you know, but still with a certain hard edge to them.
Yeah, I like a lot of your music, and it's so different. Like, so it's very expansive. You do from, like you're saying, grindcore with like 20-second speed songs to like the longer dancey-driven tracks. There's just a huge variety there.
Yeah, this one's gonna be dancing.
Yeah, and I mean, I certainly don't go quite on the level of like some of the really extreme stuff, like, but you know, it's just because I try to keep it a little catchier at times. Sometimes, but that goes out and out. I have some that are, you know, more catchy, and then I have some that are just more punctate and violent, just depending on, you know, emotional ups and downs. Because ultimately, I just use it as therapy. Whereas like Terror Amore that I do with Dion is more like to present kind of like a unified face of what we're thinking. Like it's like got a concept or something, you know.
Are you still the madman too occasionally?
Yeah, we still jam with Carl.
Okay, cool.
You know, Carl's gonna be getting married pretty soon. Carl's been pretty busy.
Okay.
But you know, we can always, I mean, there's always Madman gigs. We can always do that.
Just love Flint Town, you know, just everybody knows everybody. So anyway, was there anything else you guys want to talk about? Or?
I suppose the only thing I would want to say is just most of my stuff, as of the time that this airs, will be available pretty much for free download. And so it'll be on Bandcamp, Curse for Hire at Bandcamp. And I have my company website, alkaliflatesproduction.com. And as of now, I'm just kind of in this transitional phase of like trying to land a new job and get a house and stuff. And then after all this happens, then you know I'll have a unified front and things will expand. But by the time that this airs, should be able to download all the albums for free.
Awesome. And your label, Alkali Flats, do you produce other people too if they wanted to come and record an album? Or?
I will have that capacity once we get our new location.
Okay, cool. So look out for that invite down at Hazel Park.
So far, I haven't been doing much of that lately as far as like doing other stuff. The closest thing I did to that was like put a jazz session together over the winter, and that was at Carl's house. Actually, Carl's got a studio.
Yeah. Well, great, man.
Is that,
And then
is that it? Did you? Oh, because I want to get to the music. I know. Well,
how can you say is that it? This guy just talked about like at least 5 albums with this project, somewhere around 20 with the other bands he's part of.
yeah, I know it. It's like a lot. But I'm anxious to hear the music. I don't know.
Yeah, and I put 4 songs together. I have one from like the first album, one from the third album that I'd done, and 2 from this new one, the 5th one. So that's pretty much the gist of it.
You know, I saw you have a projector and stuff. Looks like you're putting on quite a show, aren't you?
I just brought some
Can I help you?
visual accompaniments.
Can I help you, officer?
Yes, can you guys please turn that camera off?
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Castle in Curse for Hire. Connor, Coyne, Dawei Li, of course, hers for hire, and Jennie. I talked to Leonard as soon as he makes bail, he'll be on your case. All right, everybody, peace out. Till next time.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Woo.
Switch a sec here. Move on to the next one. Just gonna take a slug off my water in a sec. Alright, like machines. Can't fall in
Yeah.
Alright, next, I love to sweat.
Yeah. Yeah! Thanks, guys. That's it. Yeah!
Oh, love it.
Wait, hold on. Hold on just a second. Still got to recover. I got to loosen up.
This isn't gonna be an Emmy award, or I don't even know if they're gonna notice it, but maybe they will. Who knows?
Crap, yeah, they're gonna notice it.
Is this coffee over here?
No, grab a bottle of water out of the cooler.